That was the 17th year of His Majesty's visit to Austria. And he visited Austria not only to visit, he didn't come just to visit Austria, rather he put his prints, in a sense. It was just 9 years after the end of the World War II, 1954. There was not even flight in Austria or to Austria. And he came by train from Sweden, and he took this initiative, and he visited Austria, the first state head in history after the World War II. That is a big and important issue for us here, for the community too, that this courage inspired all Ethiopians and all Africans, I guess, and who love peace, equality, and for world stability. And this should be recognized by the Austrian government, I guess. That is a very important thing. And he didn't came only to visit, I said it, as I said it, but he helped also by then the Austrian people who were also in problem after the war. And he visited also the kindergarten of disabled children, which were highly discriminated by the war, of course. And all that gives a sense for someone like him to have a street named by him. And we have raised this issue, and we have asked the city of Vienna in last year, and unfortunately the answer was not appropriate to our request. It has been rejected. So we said this decision is incorrect, absolutely incorrect. It's not based on the history of His Majesty Haile Selassie. And we have to collect now a petition from the community, from all people who know the history of His Majesty, and that's what we are doing right now. When it comes to petition, why exactly, why we need to collect petitions, both Austrians and non-Austrians, Africans, or even Ethiopians who have questions about His Majesty Haile Selassie. His Majesty was a figure of decolonization of Africa and a symbol of peace, equality, and even inspired so many African leaders like Nelson Mandela. This should be recognized. By then, many African leaders were also very engaged in founding the Organization of African Unity, like Kwame Nkrumah from Ghana, like Julius Nyerere from Tanzania, and Jomo Kenyatta, I guess, from Kenya, and those Keita from Mali. And this very famous Julius Nyerere, of course I mentioned it, they all were inspired by his movement. In this context, he has seen that forgiving, forgiving in a sense, those countries like Austria who have collaborated with the fascist Italy and sent their soldiers even to that extent, and broke the law of the League of Nations, even though Ethiopia was also a member of the League of Nations 3 years after the founding of League of Nations, 1923. 1920, League of Nations has been founded, and 3 years later has joined Ethiopia. And they broke that law. And even though it happened like that way, Haile Selassie came here and forgiven all that. And this is a big forgiveness diplomacy. He taught us that you have to just forget and let's start peace and let's look forward. So, a leader like that should be recognized. Not only here, all over the world. It's not only Vienna. I mean, in Africa there are a lot of big cities who have named streets after his Majesty Haile Selassie. Mm-hmm. So we ask kindly the government of Vienna, city of Vienna, to look again and to recorrect their decisions. They gave us reasons. We know it, and it is really has nothing to do with the truth. By the way, he reigned from 1930 to 1974, just 1 year after his first power. 1931, he introduced the first constitution in history in Ethiopia. And he revised that constitution 1955. Look, in 1974, he wanted even more democratic constitution to present, but unfortunately, he has been overthrown by the military junta. So, these are the realities about him. In the time when he came to Austria, nobody had the courage to visit Austria that time, and he was the first state of head. And by then, Austria was divided into four, and governed, even Vienna was governed by four allied forces: British, USA, Russians, and France. You couldn't get from Florstov to the center of the city without any permission. This is the courage that we say you have to respect this courage. He came, however, and recognized Austria as a sovereign, independent state, and it didn't took long. After 6 months, Austria became independent. So this is more than enough to name a street after his name.